And welcome back, friends, Between Bouts. I'm Baker Machado in New York. One company is truly creating a buzz in the spirits industry. Siponey is an award-winning canned cocktail. It combines 4 real ingredients: rye whiskey, sparkling water, local wildflower honey, and real lemon juice. And the award-winning product not only tastes good, but it's also really good for the planet as well. So joining us now to discuss is Amanda Victoria. She's the co-founder and CEO of Siponey. Amanda, such a pleasure to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this is really sort of impressive, the fact that you're able to make a product with so few ingredients in here, and you're also keeping these locally sourced as well.
Yeah, this is a product for the label readers, people that are very meticulous about ingredients, what goes into your products. You can find these people in the aisles of Whole Foods on any given day.
So I was surprised that there is such a thing as sparkling whiskey.
Yeah.
So how did were you able to create that? Is there even was there a market for that before you got into this? What made you get into this?
So it's a classic. It's based off of a classic cocktail, which is a highball, which is just the spirit of whiskey topped with soda. Very simple, elegant, no preservatives, no fillers. We added a touch of honey, and we call it a whiskey spritz in a can.
Okay, so what's been the response so far from customers so far on this?
The response is overwhelming, to be honest. People love what we're doing in cans. If you have experienced other cans or the world of canned cocktails, there's room for improvement. So we're focusing on ingredients and bringing the very best ingredients that we could find to the can.
And we have a couple different cans up here. What are the sort of different variations and flavors that people can try here?
So as you mentioned, we have the Siponey Royale. It is 4 beautiful ingredients: a sparkling water, real delicious lemon juice, a touch of honey, and a 4 to 7-year-old aged whiskey, which is incredible. It's the backbone of the product. The second can is Siponey Cafe. It's Siponey Royale's little sister that I coined. And all those same ingredients with the addition of a tiny bit of cold brew coffee.
Oh, interesting.
Just a touch.
And why go that route with cold brew coffee? Was there just like an interest in having more caffeine? Because we are seeing a lot of caffeine.
Flavor. It's all about flavor. It's not necessarily about the caffeination that you're going to get from this product, but it's all about flavor. The whiskey is the backbone of Siponey. So we have this beautiful, delicious aged rye whiskey in a can. People thought I was nuts for putting an aged spirit in a can when I did back in 2019. But since then, we've seen a big development in the right direction, I think, with cans. Focusing on ingredients, and Siponey was trailblazing that.
So you mentioned you started this company back in 2019. When I was looking into sort of your history in this, you created this company when you were 6 months pregnant at the time, which is so incredible to think that, because a lot of people are not building businesses at that stage in their pregnancy.
That's true.
What did you maybe learn about yourself in that process that helped you with this company?
So if you remember the summer of 2019,
those were the good old days, right?
It was a hot girl summer.
Yes.
So everyone was drinking something in their hands, a can, and nobody really knew what it was. They thought they were drinking vodka sodas. They thought it was carbonated beer. They weren't really sure what it was. So I was frustrated. I had spent 2 decades almost teaching people how to drink better. I traveled the world talking about ingredients and production and family businesses for bigger companies. That was where I came from. So I was frustrated. Yes, 6 months pregnant. Me and my partner, my co-founder, Joey Mintz, and I created something better for cans. And it's all about drinking better.
The other thing in the spirits industry, it is predominantly white. It's predominantly male as well. Have you faced any sort of challenges being a female of color in a company and creating a company in this industry?
Yeah, that's a loaded question.
I know it
Absolutely.
is. Yes. We asked the tough ones here.
Yes, I have faced challenges, of course. In my early days, I didn't even realize the challenges I was facing, but I was often the only one that looked like me at the tables that I was sitting at. So being that means that you have to come to the table prepared, you have to do the work, you have to study, you have to know what you're talking about. It hasn't been an easy road by any means the last 20 years in the world of wine and spirits.
Well, part of the other appeal, besides the ingredients, the product, and all this, is the environmental impact of it as well, because we know a lot of conscious consumers are out there. Your company is part of the 1% for the Planet, which is a network of a lot of companies committed to environmental issues. Why was that important to be a part of that when you were making this product?
From day one, it was so important to have environmental wellness as the forefront of our business, in our plans. And that is because, having spent a couple of decades in the world of wine and spirits, I saw an opportunity to redirect funds from the very lucrative world of wine and spirits back to the environment, to do something truly good. This isn't a marketing plan. This isn't a Q1 strategy. This is what we do 100% of our time, 365 days of the year. We're proudly now, as of this morning, B Corp certified.
Oh, congratulations.
That was a long time coming. It's a very hefty auditing process, and it's something that we're so proud of, being able to give back to the environment. A portion of all of our revenue, 2% per year annually, at least, is dedicated back to nonprofit environmental partners.
All right, so I'm going to give this a little bit of a try, and I have to admit, I'm not traditionally a whiskey
Cracking
drinker.
cans.
Yes, well, I want to do a
Cracking
cheers for you on this as
cans.
well. So is this a type of drink that you would drink out with your friends on a hot summer day, or is this something that you would do, in a dark bar like you normally would drink whiskey?
I'm going to say both.
Okay.
I'm going to say both. The opportunities are endless for Siponey. There's a crossroads, so if
This
you're
is
not
really
a, it's
The honey is really, I can get the honey at the end, which is really good.
nothing artificial in there, no processed sugar, no simple syrup, no white sugar, real actual honey, a touch of lemon juice, and real beautiful aged whiskey.
I feel like the lemon and the honey are great contrast to the whiskey because for a lot of people like me, who's traditionally a vodka or tequila drinker, whiskey tends to be a little bit harder for us to sort of drink down. But I feel like the honey and is really kind of a good contrast.
This is a great, if you're whiskey curious, this is a great place to
Ooh, yes,
start.
I like that
Whiskey
word.
curious, and then also very respectable for those that love scotches and love American whiskeys. We're right at the crossroads of both curious to whiskey and whiskey connoisseurs.
Okay, so really quickly, what's next for the company? Where do you sort of see the future of this going?
So we've been in the market now for a couple of years. Officially, we started in 2019. We launched in June 2020. That's a very strategic date. We wanted to launch, right in the middle of the pandemic.
Perfect time to do it, yes.
Yeah, so we launched in June 2020 last year. We've been in the market for 2 years now. Where we're going is we're going to use our tried and true method to get to more consumers. We need to find our customers. Our customers are out there. We know people love the product. We know the liquid is very beloved in the can. We're going to find you, and we're going to come and expand to new markets and new refrigerators near you.
Well, I can see why it's very popular. It's a really delicious beverage. Amanda, such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Amanda
Cheers.
Victoria. Yes, cheers
Cheers to
indeed.
that.
Amanda Victoria. She's the co-founder and CEO of Siponey as she takes a nice shot over there. Very delicious.
So
All right, come on,
good.